So there's a story about a father, a son, and a train that this is often used in youth groups to illustrate the gospel.
It goes like this. There's a dad who's a switch operator on a railroad tracks, and his switch house is way up on a hill overlooking the bridge.
And so he brings his son to work one day, and his son is fishing near the tracks while he is operating the drawbridge, and this drawbridge allows the ships to go back and forth underneath it. And so while the father is away for a moment, the son notices that there's a train approaching. And so he tries to warn his father, but he can't find him. And so the son attempts to lower the bridge himself, but he falls into the gears of the drawbridge. And so this leaves the father with this horrible decision. If he lowers the drawbridge, then the passengers of the train will be saved, but it will kill his son. But if he chooses to save his son, then the train will actually derail, and then all the passengers on the train will die. And so the father ends up choosing to lower the bridge, which saves the passengers on the train, but kills his son. His son is crushed in the gears.
And then if the story is being told by a youth pastor who really wants to twist the knife, he'll say, and as he looked in the windows of the train, there were people gambling and drinking and fornicating. They didn't even know the sacrifice that had just been made to cause them to, survive, to allow them to live.
It's a very powerful emotional image. And when it's used, some people have said, now that's a perfect example of what I mean by the abusive nature of this teaching of the penal substitution and the death of Christ. To which I go, well, that shows the limitation of our illustrations.
But particularly abhorrent is the penal substitutionary atonement theory that turns the Father of Jesus into a pagan deity who can only be placated by the barbarism of child sacrifice, and this will not do.
But what it completely misses is Christ's own voluntary laying down of his life. He was not like the little child trapped there unwittingly, having his life sacrificed by his Father for the good of strangers.
But what they're forgetting is that God is triune, that the Father and the Son and the Spirit, they're all of one essence. And because they're all of one essence, they all agree in terms of motivation for the cross.
It would be wrong to suggest that the Lord Jesus is being subjected to a punishment for which he was unwilling.
Jesus says in the Gospel of John, nobody takes my life. I lay it down willfully. And he says, if I have the power to lay it down, he says, I also have the power, the authority to take it up again.
Or that he in turn was seeking to coerce the Father to display his love in a way that would be, if you like, breaking new territory.
It makes God a vindictive monster. Does God really love me, or has he simply been paid off?